It all started with a single announcement. At first glance, it seemed pretty straightforward, but the more that I looked into this situation, the more things stopped making sense. The moderators gave one explanation, other people claimed that there was a totally different reason. Then there were the allegations involving Vei, the responses that followed, and behavior inside the Discord server that only added more questions. So, I gathered every screenshot, message, and public statement that I could find, and today I'm going to be going over it all, and you decide where the truth lies. If you haven't been keeping up with the recent controversy, then you probably have no idea what I'm talking about right now. So, let's start from the beginning. Gakuran is a Roblox game created by Shem and Peak that recently exploded in popularity after clips of the game went viral all over TikTok. As more people discovered it, its player count continued to grow, hitting 15,000 concurrent players in just a couple of days. And I have to admit, the game was indeed fun and addicting. But the key word there was because the game disappeared off of Roblox. Now, what was the official statement? Officially, the moderators, the co-owner, the owner, whatever, they said that the game was removed for maturity content. Basically, this just means that the content maturity questionnaire had inaccurate information. Now, before I say anything, I'd like to say that I did attempt to reach out to the co-owner in an attempt to gather more slash undisclosed information on the deletion of the game, but to no prevail as he didn't respond. Now, as you can see here, yesterday at 1:47 p.m., Peak, who is the co-owner, said at students, basically adding everybody in the Discord server, everything is fine, just Roblox wants us to fill out the game maturity level. And as you can see here, he responded again yesterday at 8:55 p.m. and he said, I won't be pinging for this, but for some reason people believe we got a DMCA or copyright. Hate to break it to you, it's just a content maturity problem. And then showed the following image. And the image basically just shows that they said blood was light slash unrealistic. Roblox said, no, we don't think so. The blood is light slash realistic. And violence, they said occasional slash mild. And Roblox said, no, repeated slash mild. So now, what do I think of this all? Well, I mean, to be honest with you, it seems pretty legit. I mean, I could see Roblox taking down a game because they think there's a lot more blood than, the owner said. Because, Roblox loves to take down games and everything, right? But then this is where things started to get weird because behind the scenes, there was a bunch going on and it seems like the co-owner knew something about the DMCA or copyright allegations. So let's get into that. Now, before anything, there is a lot to go over. And I will be summarizing everything that I've found. So there is additional information that can be found in the description of this video. I will leave basically where I found all my proof if you want to go read the documentations yourself. So, let's start with the map. Apparently, the map that Gakuren was using had been stolen from a game called Back to School by R.W. Drews. I'm probably chopping that name up. So, this is a tweet made by R.W. Drews on June 2026 at 9 a.m., a few days before the game was taken down. The tweet shows Gakuren and Back to School side by side, and I have to admit, the map similarities are basically one to one. So now, after seeing the tweet uploaded by RW Drews, I had to go directly to the source, just like I did in the beginning with Peak. I reached out to RW Drews and I attempted to get into contact with him so that I could really figure out if the map was his or not. And this is what I found. Essentially, RW Drews knew about Gakurin when there was only about 50 players playing the game. He knew that they took his whole map and he knew that they used it in the game. So he confronted them. He told them that they don't have permission to use the map in their game, and they responded by saying that they are currently working on a new map. Now, directly from messages with RW Drews, he says, a month passes by, I low-key forgot about this, and their game pops up on my friend's feed, so I check it out, And then I see that my map is still in their game, so I confront them again, telling them that I will DMCA them if they don't remove the map. And then he continues to go on to tell me that they ended up removing the map, so he didn't end up DMCAing them. So, on the map side of things, they did indeed steal the map. He reached out to them, they said that they would remove the map, and then instead of removing the map, they kept the map in longer until he threatened them with a DMCA strike. Now, here's more proof directly from Peak himself, stating that he never said they could use it for now. In this image here, it says the part that we will be focusing on. It says, but however it is, I think it's better for you to not be profiting off of my work, lol. So changing the map ASAP would be great. And then he follows up about a month later and he says, when will you replace all of my assets? I can still clearly see my assets in there. And it's been like a month already. And lastly, because they are going around saying, um, that they got permission or whatever. He says after all of this, Peak contacted him and they were trying to figure out what they want to do on the situation. And originally he was going to sell them the map, but then he changed his mind because he said that they could like lie about it and say that they already previously had permission, or that they could lie about it and say they paid for it already, or just a whole bunch of different lies they can make up. And the reason why I'm showing a lot of this evidence is not only to really confirm both sides of the story, but also because Gakuran is lying to the public. In their public announcement channel, they stated both Fistborn and Back to School were right in that yes, they still own the assets because no contract was signed. However, they let us use it while they attempted to build up. During this time, we had concurrent 50 players and we're still actively working on the game, which was a month ago. So in a sense, we were given permission, but that permission amounted to nothing, as they could technically take back their word whenever they wanted to. Conveniently, when we reached 10k players concurrently as of last week, which is essentially what they attempted to do, we have already taken out all animations and are currently building a new full map, sneaks soon. And I'm going to stop reading there because I've already pretty much made my point about how they're lying. They are stating that they got permission to use the map while they built themselves up. But as you see with the evidence I've shown, that's not true. They did not get permission to use the map. Now, additionally, here is an image of a new map on the same day, just a couple hours after those allegations were released, uploaded by the owner of Gakuran, Shem. And lastly, to end things off, here is a message between the co-owner of Gakuran and R.W. Drews, in which Peak states, Peak is your co-owner, by the way, please, I'm really begging you, I can meet your demands. The reason why it's hard for us to close the game is because we're hitting a new goal every day. Please let us pay you. I'm begging. We don't need more than a month. I would sign a contract if I was an adult. I can't. If you don't want to, we can take everything out. You tell me what you really want. Now, honestly, man, I'm not taking any sides here, but it does seem to me the co-owner Peak knew that the map was stolen, because I mean he's basically saying, please let us pay you, I'm begging. I mean, that's basically saying, hey, I know what I did was wrong. I know I took your stuff. Let's go for a settlement, as if this was like legal court or something, right? But here's the thing. I don't think that the game was DMCA'd because of the map. Now, did they steal the map? Yes. Did they basically admit to stealing the map in DMs? Yes. Are they scummy for lying to the public? Yes. Does that make them scummy people? Yes. But the game was not taken down over a DMCA claim, at least not over the map. Now, we know this simply because I recall perfectly that the map was changed before the game got deleted. The owner of the map, R.W. Drews, did say that he did not DMCA them, which I showed proof of. So the game was not taken down because of a DMCA strike due to the map. Next up, we have the allegations about the animations being stolen from a game called Fistborn. So I'm going to play two separate clips here, and I want to know your guys' opinions on it. Now, after watching both of those clips, I watch them myself, obviously, and I can tell you without a doubt in my mind that those are one-to-one replicas of Fistborn's game. So, once again, I had to go directly to the source. So, I reached out to somebody within the Fistborn community who was a higher up, and I got their side of the story, and this is what I got. So the person that I reached out to is called Gluttony. He is known as the community manager or the person who deals with any issues, but he's also Suki's assistant, and he basically helps manage the workflow of the community of the game, etc., etc. So on the screen right now, there is a snippet of something that he sent me, and if you would like to read it, then you can read it and pause the video. I'm not going to read it because it is a little bit long, but what I am going to do is I'm basically going to summarize it. To really summarize the whole message, the Gluttony team gave them permission to use, but requested that it be removed as soon as possible. And instead of removing it, they really just delayed everything, took their time, and then the Gluttony team revoked permission of using it at all. Going deeper into our messages, Gluttony was so nice as to basically offer that he would pay for them to have his animations removed from their game. He sent me a screenshot and he says we can always offer to pay if anything for new animations, and in which obviously they did deny it. He said they denied his offering to pay. They basically said, oh, it would be a blessing if possible, but I'll need to check to see how much something is because we also have money. And then he goes, I have $50 to be honest. You think that's enough to get us stuff or no? And lastly, to really sum this all up, Gluttony tells me that 6 days prior, the game still had his animations inside of it. He sent a screenshot in which the screenshot says, do you have any advice for us? As soon as Shem wakes up, though, I'm going to tell him to take out the admin panel, any old animations. And Shem, as we know, is the owner, and Peak is the co-owner, just a reminder. So, just to sum up this video, all the animations that were stolen are still inside of the game. They are not in the public game, the general game, but they are inside of the studio game, and they have not been removed as of yet. Now, obviously, the question on everyone's mind is it a DMCA strike? And the answer is no. Gluttony told me, and I will put this on the screen, that they did not actually follow through with a DMCA strike as of yet, and they don't actually know or they haven't decided what they are going to do about it just yet. So, once again, we're back to the point of, is Gakuran scummy? Yes. Are the owners of the game scummy? Yes. But it seems that the game truly was taken down for content maturity, but I mean, for how much longer? Because they're not removing animations that were stolen. They've stolen so far map animations. Who's to say that they're not going to steal other things down the line, or that there aren't other things in the game that are already stolen? These are just some of the questions I'm going to leave you guys with. And yeah, now that we've cleared up the claims as to why the game was taken down, let's talk about Vei. Who is Vei? Vei was a staff member in the Gakuran Discord who allegedly sent CP in the server publicly, advertised her Instagram to little kids, in which the contents of her Instagram were also allegedly NSFW, and that she was a racist. Now, due to the contents of the image shared, I will not be sharing the image in this video, but as you can see here, Vei says in this image, it was a meme and someone recognized the porn art of a 16-year-old girl. That is not my problem. Now, in Vei's response to the allegations, she states that basically, it was okay because she didn't know the origin of the image. She says, my position has remained the same throughout. I shared the image because I believed it was just a meme. The version I posted was not explicit and I had no intention of sharing sexual content or anything involving minors. The allegation relies on assuming I knew the image's alleged origin, but no evidence has been presented showing what I did. Now, honestly, I feel like she's coming at it all wrong. I feel like she's looking at the wrong thing. She's saying, oh, I didn't know the origin. That's basically what they're saying, is I knew the origin. But I think what they're saying, right? I don't think they're talking about the origin. I think they're saying that you publicly shared explicit information. And by saying that, you didn't know the image's alleged origin, you're basically saying, oh, I didn't know about it, but it doesn't matter anyways, because since I didn't know about it, I didn't share CP, which that doesn't really add up. That doesn't make sense. And in her response, she says like, "Oh, somebody recognized it from an anime or wherever it's from. That's not my problem." Like, it's just pretty immature, if you ask me, in my opinion. I think it's very immature response to the situation at hand. I think she could have, came across it very, very, very differently. I think she could have had a very different take. And, I feel like she's digging the hole deeper than it needs to be. Because, I mean, you clearly shared something that was sexual. You found out that it was sexual, and then you still denied knowing it was sexual and denied sharing CP because you knew, or because you didn't know that it was sexual. I don't know. It's like it seems like a load of bullshit. Next, we have the Instagram allegations, in which the allegations against her state that her Instagram account was linked to her Discord profile, and on her Instagram had basically explicit slash sexual content, right? Now, unfortunately, I do not have the images of her Instagram because she cleared everything on her Instagram and she went private. Um, but the claims are as follows, right? The Instagram contained sexually explicit photos of when she was an adult and minor when NSFW images of her bodily parts and photos of lolicon. There was also photos of her having sex with her boyfriend with matching photos of a hentai based on two school children. Now, guys, honestly, she said that she didn't know the photo was CP, but then supposedly her Instagram allegedly had basically CP on it. Now, her response to the Instagram allegations are: I linked my Instagram account to my Discord profile while minors were present in the server. That is being presented as evidence that I was attempting to expose minors to sexual content, which is not true. I'm 20 years old and the Instagram account belongs to me. I linked it to my Discord profile in the same way many people link their socials. The account was public and anyone who viewed my profile could choose whether or not to visit it. I did not send my account directly to minors or anyone or encourage anyone to follow it. No evidence has been presented showing that I used my Instagram account to exploit, solicit, or engage in inappropriate conversations. My Instagram was simply my personal account that I chose to link to my Discord profile. It's okay to link your Discord account and your Instagram account. Perfectly fine. Now, she stated she knew she was in a server where minors were present, and it's her Instagram account, like she said. So obviously, she knows what was on her Instagram account. Now, I don't have, proof of what was on the Instagram account, but based off her response to the allegations, it seems like the content on her Instagram account might have been inappropriate. And if it was inappropriate by linking it, she knew what she was doing, right? So, I mean, in my opinion, she's basically admitting guilt. She's like, "Oh, I linked it. I'm 20. It's my account. I was in a server with minors, but it's not my business if they go to my profile and click on my Instagram or anything. I have nothing to do with that. But I did link it, and there is explicit content. I don't know, guys. That's just my opinion, really. Now, lastly, we're gonna go over the allegations of her being a racist. So, an image of her saying the N word had been leaked, and in the image, it is clear that Vei said the N word. In the image, it says, "Nigga, I just fucking saved you from getting banned. Don't get pissy with me." And she didn't actually respond to this allegation inside of her Google document. So I mean, it is what it is. But the one thing I will say is, guys, everybody on the internet says the N word. People in real life say the N word. Now, does it mean that she's racist? That's up for you guys to decide, right? Um, I don't care personally. I am black. Um, but I mean, everybody on the internet says it. Everybody in real life says it. If you're in a Discord server, people are gonna say it. So I mean, you do with that information what you will. I don't think it really means she's racist. I think she's just saying the word. But I mean, there are people who take the word offensively, so there's that. To end the video off, I'm going to be talking about the immature behavior surrounding the Discord server and the staff within it. Now, going over to the Discord server, like right now, this moment, going into the general chat, we see the mods talking to each other, right? Because if you remember from my video yesterday, the server was closed down. But obviously, the server was closed down to the public, not like the moderators, the staff, etc., etc. And I mean, it's immature. It really is, guys. It's immature. We have Peak talking about Gakuran files like, do I post it? I'm itching to post it on how they just got called out for just trying to get fame. I'm itching and he deleted his Discord. I'm itching. Like, guys, the things that they're sending, it's very immature. And you have to ask yourself, right? I'll leave it off on this. You have to ask yourself, if the owners and the moderators and the staff within the Discord server are immature, what are the chances that they can create a strong, smart community? And also, what are the chances that somewhere down the line, the video game gets struck down for DMCA? I mean, think about it. Just think about it. They already are stealing assets. They're already being scummy to people. They're already lying to the public, right? So, what are the chances that somewhere down the line they don't steal something? What are the chances that there's already stolen assets in the game already that we just don't know about, and they do indeed get DMCA striked? I don't know. I'm just saying, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one.